led the country in marking the International Day of People Living with Disability. Now, the group decried inequality and lack of inclusivity of PWDs in the government. As the world marks International Day for Persons Living with Disabilities, the special group has lamented on how most counties fail to give nomination slots to PWDs in the county assemblies. They say the counties have been unfair to them.
In Machakos County, we did not get nomination for PWDs in the county assembly, and this one will actually affect a lot of PWDs in Machakos County, because our voices will never be heard in matters of development, in matters of legislation, because when we have a representative, is there to cater for us. Because in the county assembly, we have representative for women, we have representative for youth, but for people with disabilities, we did not get any slot.
Ken Siocha, who heads an organization for the Blind and Low Vision Network in Lower Eastern Blink, said they have already presented their grievances to the courts and are waiting for their final verdict.
Article 177C. Nominations zitapewa kwa watu wawili. One, walemavu na vijana. Alafu sasa minority ambao wanasemekana ndio wanapewa mwisho, walemavu wakishapata. Hakuna mahali imeandikwa kwa katiba ya kwamba ati kwa sababu mliwapatia 2013 na 2017 ati sasa mnawadhulumu, mnapatia watu wao wengine. Walitumia.
Out of the 47 counties, only 26 gave nomination slots to PWDs. The lack of inclusivity has been attributed to lack of disability mainstreaming, as they call on the government to champion for the inclusion of PWDs in both public and private sector.
There is lack of disability mainstreaming in the government offices and in private sector. So what we can ask the government to do is to ensure that disability mainstreaming is done in all sectors, and there is also disability inclusion in all public and private sectors, so that we can bridge the gap which has been there in matters of disability, disabilities. Like, for example, in communication, in most of the government hospitals and offices, there are no sign interpreters. So for deaf people, they have a challenge when they go to access services in those offices.
Walemavu kwa muda mrefu sana. Hata hapa Machakos kuna kuanga na walemavu wanaletwa asubuhi kitu kama saa 12, wanachukuliwa tena saa 12 ya jioni. Na hawa watu ambao wanawaleta hawajajulikana. So tunataka kuuliza serikali ichunguze ni akina nani hawa huwa wanawatumia. Pili, wanapowatoa kwa street pia watafute solution. Watasaidia hawa walemavu wetu ambao wanatoka kwa street kwa njia gani, ili waache kutumiwa vibaya na wale watu wengine ambao wanawatumia vibaya.
The group has however lauded the recent move by the Nairobi County Assembly for approving a motion to flush out street families and those faking disabilities from the city, claiming that some people have been taking advantage of them, while at the same time calling on consideration for people who are genuinely living with disabilities. Right now, residents